Everyone. Good- Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hi. Um,
Good evening.
let's wait for 2 more minutes, okay? Now, or else 1 more minute, then we can start. Okay. If you have any, meanwhile, you can ask me any questions if you have regarding these training or anything. I believe you all have um, systems with you to practice, right?
Yeah.
Great. Uh, and everyone is using Windows or Mac or Linux.
I'm using Windows.
Viola is using Windows, then Rose, Rohit, Salome, what about you? Windows or Mac or
Windows,
Linux?
Windows,
Windows. Okay.
Windows, sir.
Okay. I'll share uh I'll share a video maybe from the previous training sessions to help you with the installations. I have to edit that, I think. I'll check that, but I can guide you to how to install it. Okay. Today we'll see even before getting into the the code or anything. Okay. First of all, we should have, or else we should install few things to get started with Python programming. Okay. Even that also will take care of it. Have you heard the concept, or else have you heard the word GitHub? Anyone? If you haven't, that's okay. No, right? Okay, that's fine. We'll see. Maybe in the maybe somewhere in the second week or third week, we'll try to get introduced to that also. Because if you want to be a programmer, or else if you want to get into this side of software development, okay, you should have that idea, or else you should have that understanding of concept called version control. Okay, but don't worry. That also we can see. If yeah, I think it's Blissy right now. Someone called me just now. Anyone has any doubt? Okay. So yesterday we have seen just a simple scenario. How do we how do we process a real-time scenario? Okay, like, and how can we convert that into a program kind of thing? Okay. So today we'll try to understand how a system process a program, or else what is meant by source code. Okay, how can we write our first code? Okay, how can we execute it? What are the different tools that we are required to get started with this programming? How to install them? Where can we find them? Okay, these kind of topics. Okay, small topics we'll try to cover. Okay, and we'll see how can we start creating our first source file. Okay, we'll try to get introduced to this programming world. Okay, day by day, one step at a time, kind of thing. Okay, from next week maybe we'll try to get into the core concepts of Python. Like yesterday, I've introduced you to variables, looped actions, something like this, right? Okay, we'll try to see under variables. Okay, what are the naming conventions for each variable? Different data types. What are loops? Okay, how to write your first what is that? Execute your first programs and those kind of core concepts. We'll try to see there. Right. This week we'll try to stick ourselves to get introduced to this programming world kind of thing. Okay. Please stop me if you have any doubts at any point. Okay. So I'll start sharing my screen. Let me open a window. Let me create a folder called class. I'll open that. Okay. Now I hope you can see my screen, right? Okay, this is your um, folder window in your system. Okay, in this folder window, if you want to create a file, or else if you want to create your own program, okay, yesterday we have written something like this, a scenario. Okay, after you write this scenario, you have to execute this program, or else you have to run this program. To make it run, or else to make it an executable program, okay, we have to save it in your in your in your program, sorry, in your system. Okay, with some kind of with some kind of extension. Here here if you observe the file name, or else this is actually, all these lines are actually stored in a file called, first of all, this is a file. Okay, this is stored in a file called course-plan.txt. Okay, .txt is an extension that denotes it is a text kind of file. Okay, like that we have other extensions also, like CSV, Excel, docs file. Okay, something like that. Our Python files, we store them with an extension called py, dot py. Okay, so to store your first file, okay, to store your first file, we can say, one second, let me open the terminal also. Okay, and this is the terminal, or else console. You can call it as a console, or else in Windows, you can call them as command prompt. Okay, this command prompt will let you execute some system related commands. Okay, what are those system related commands? Either to create a file, to view the file contents, to view the folder contents, view the folder contents with much more detail, okay, or else in detail. Okay, those kind of commands. Okay, whatever we are executing through GUI, or else through a cursor, or else through a mouse, uh, through button clicks. Okay, we can view all, we can do all those things even by executing some commands also. Okay, so let's say right now what I have done, see, I'm clicking the back command here to get out of that class folder, right? I'm just clicking a back command, just a back command, something like that. Sorry, back icon here. Okay, forward icon here to get into this class folder. I can do the same thing through command prompt also. Okay, so right now I am, if you want to check which folder you are in right now is pwd, that will give you which folder you are in right now. Okay, if you want to change your directory, change folder is equivalent to directory in this terminology. Folder is equivalent to directory. Okay, if I want to get into this class, what is that class directory or folder, I have to write a command saying that, okay, change directory, change directory, in short it is cd, change directory in documents. Okay, this is under documents. I've created this under documents, projects, in class. Okay, so the path of this class, or else the path of this folder is under documents. Okay, under documents, I have to get into projects first, then I have to get into class. Now I am in the folder. Now I am in the folder class. See, using terminal, I'm actually there in the space. Using the GUI, or else the graphical user interface. Okay, I am in this folder. Now I can create, or else I can delete any files here, any kind of files. I can store an image file, I can store a Excel file, a .txt file, something like that. But our interest right now is to create a Python file, right? A Python file, or else any kind of program file. Okay, let's try to create a file. Touch. Okay, to create a file, we use the command called touch. Okay, touch. I want to create a file called first program.py. If you see, when I did this one, okay, my first program is actually got created here. My first program actually got created here. Okay, so I can open this with anything, either text edit or note or anything. Okay, so these files, I can actually open it from the command line prompt or the any kind of tool. What kind of tool? We'll see. What kind of tool that is recommended for this class? We'll see that. But right now, assume that we don't have any kind of tool help with us. We just have a system with a basic tools to open a file, to open a text file or any kind of editable file text related files. Okay, program is nothing but human, whatever we write, okay, that is understandable by the human language. Forget about how computers understand it as of now, but for us, program will be in English language. That's it. Okay, alphanumeric. We use symbols, we use alphabets, um, we use numbers. Okay, the combination of a program would be these things. That's it. Okay, now let's try to edit. Okay, let's try to edit this first program. There is an editor called either Vim or Nano if you are using Linux or Mac systems. Or if you are not, you can either download it in the Windows also, or you can use the graphical user interface method itself. But right now, I just want to show you how can you edit it. Okay. So now we have entered into the edit mode of a file called, see, file equals to first program.py. I can just simply say that, okay, I can just simply write a line here. I can just simply write a line here and I can save Control X, Y means it saves it. Okay. I want to, if you want to list or else if I want to view the number of files that I have in this folder, I can use the command called ls, list ls, short form of list is ls. Okay, let's create another program, touch first program dot txt. Now it is in the txt form. It is in the format of text file. Okay, it is this. The previous one is in the format of Python. It's a Python type file, and the second one is the text type file. Okay, I can edit the first program.txt. I can just add some text here, whatever I wish to add, I can add here. And if you open it, you can see whatever we have entered is there reflected in this file. Okay, my first program is empty by default. It open it on second. Now open it with a text edit. This is empty as of now. This is empty as of now, but we have to populate it with a meaningful code. Okay, what is that code? How to write it? We'll see. That's not an issue right now. Okay, my main intention right now is to let you understand, okay, how to create a file in a folder from GUI and at the same time from the command line prompt or else console, okay, or else terminal, whatever you call it. You understand this one? Even before you, and this particular .py file, we call it as source file. We call it as source file because it consists of the code, the source code of your logic or else of your operation, whatever you're trying to do, either opening a door or else either getting ATM withdrawal or else controlling a sensor, something like that. All these logic can be written in a file and stored or else saved in your system under with an extension called .py. All your files will be stored with an extension called .py. Like this, other languages will have their own extensions. Let's say if you want to create a C file, a C programming file, you have to create, okay, first program .c. You have to create with an extension called .c. If you want to create a JavaScript file, okay, you can create .js. This is JavaScript file. Okay, if you want to create a Kotlin file, example I'm saying .kt, that's a Kotlin file. Okay, so like that, every programming language, your source code, you have to write it, you have to save it with an extension called with an extension of its own .py, .c, .js. If it is a simple text file, you can just save it at .txt. Right, that's enough. Now we have different editor, different tools to edit your files. Okay, just now we have seen options to open your file. Either you can open it with notes, you can open it with txt. I can just I can just open this one here. I can write my, this is my first line of code, something like that. Even though it doesn't make any, it doesn't give you any semantic, or else it doesn't give you any it doesn't have any purpose, programmatically speaking. But I can edit my file something like this. Okay, of course it throws an error. What is that error? Why it throws an error, we'll see. But I can open this, okay, to edit, or else to write whatever I have in my mind, whatever logic I have in my mind, either using some tools. Okay, just now we have seen we can do the same, we can perform the same operation from command line also. I can open this same file from from this uh, terminal also. Okay, the command prompt also. I can do that like this, or else I can use a tool. Okay, for our class, what I recommend is to use a tool called VS Code. A tool called VS Code. Okay, let me write down the list of tools, or else things that we need to proceed with this training session. Okay, list of uh, things we need. .ext. Okay, so first of all, we need first of all we need a tool, or else first of all we need an editor. We need an editor. Okay, so editor options, I've told you, either we can edit a program using terminal or command prompt. Okay, or console, whatever you call it. If you are using Mac systems, okay, you can call it terminal or console or command prompt if you are using Windows system. Or you can use any text editor. Any text editor. You can write your code in Microsoft Docs, or Microsoft, what is that called? Editor or writer? Microsoft. Where do we write our Word? Microsoft Word. Sorry, Microsoft Word. We can write our code here also. We can write our source code here also. These are all like basic things. Okay, these are not meant for programming things. Okay, these are not meant for not recommended, or is not meant to write any program. Okay, these list, okay, whatever I'm saying right now, whatever I'm listing out here, is they are actually recommended to write a program. Okay, the first one is for Python specifically. There is a editor called PyCharm. There is an editor called PyCharm, and there is another editor called VS Code, and we have another editor. What other editor we can say? Sublime. Sorry, there is a there is an editor called Sublime Text. Okay, so these are all recommended editors. These are all recommended editors. Why, or else what is the difference if you ask me? Okay, suppose if you write, if you want to create your own resume, or else if you want to create a flyer, okay, flyer, with an image or something like that. Okay, you want to design a flyer. Okay, a birthday invitation kind of thing. Okay, you want to design a flyer with a baby photo with some beautiful font and everything. Okay, my question right now is, what is the tool that you use to create that? You have Microsoft Paint, you have Adobe Photoshop, and you have Microsoft Editor, you have Microsoft Excel. Okay, you have four different options. What tool you prefer to design or else to create that uh, flyer? Okay, birthday invitation flyer. Can anyone answer me that? You can unmute yourself and you can answer that question. That's a simple one.
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. Okay, that is also good option. Any other one? You have to create a birthday invitation with beautiful fonts and pictures, something like that. And you have options like Paint, PowerPoint, Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, okay, Word, something like that. All these are capable of doing that. All these are capable of doing this. Okay, but which option, if you are a professional, or else if you are a beginner, okay, which option do you choose to create that thing?
Paint.
Paint, okay.
Yeah.
But will that be a better one, a better can you create a, how can I say, an efficient not efficient, the efficient is the not the right word, uh, an attractive invitation? Can you create that using Paint? Do you have multiple options for fonts? Do you have multiple options to edit your image? Can you do that?
A little bit, somewhat. I will take the images from the Google or any other AI tools and the copy paste in the Paint,
Okay,
and I can
okay,
adjust things.
okay, okay. But I would suggest, or else I would say, I'm not 100% right here. Okay, I would say Photoshop is the best option to create such things. Okay, because it's the only tool that is meant to design these kind of things. Because Word is not the Word, we can do that. Okay, but it is not designed specifically to create images. Okay, to create flyers or else to create images which has multiple options, thousands of options. You won't have thousands of options here in Word. Okay, whereas Paint is like a how can I say, Photoshop is at the 500 level 500 or something. Paint would be at level 50, something like that. I'm saying there is that the gap is that much, okay, between Paint and Photoshop. Because in Paint it is a limited version of Photoshop. I could say it has very limited features. Okay, PowerPoint is not at all designed for editing photos. It is designed to create presentations. Okay, like giving any presentations. So choosing the right tool for the right operation is also a necessary thing here. Okay, if you want to design a presentation or else if you want to create a presentation, of course you have to go with the PowerPoint. If you want to create a resume, you don't have to go with Photoshop or else you don't have to go with Paint or PowerPoint. Okay, you have to go with Word because Word supports your requirement. Okay, it gives you multiple options for resume preparation. It gives you multiple templates for your resume preparation. Okay, or else paper, any kind of, if you are writing a paper uh, for any article, or anything, if you're writing an article, okay, Word would be the best tool. So what I'm trying to tell you here is all these can do our operation or else can satisfy our requirement, but the accuracy of the, or else the accuracy of each output, okay, each tool's output varies. Okay, each output varies actually. Paint, if you do the same flyer, the birthday invitation flyer, it would be different. With PowerPoint, it would be different. With Photoshop, it would be different. With the Word, it would be different. Okay, like that, like that. Here, we can write the code. If you're an expert, okay, if you're a master in programming, you don't need all these PyCharm, VS Code or Sublime or anything. You just need a text editor, a simple text editor like this. You just need it. You can write your code because you don't need any external help there. Okay. Whereas PyCharm or VS Code or Sublime, these are all called as supported programming supported tools, which gives you some help while you're writing a code, while you're writing any kind of code. Okay. So these are all the different tools that are available. What is the help, or else what kind of help uh, that these tools will give you? You can only see, or else you can only experience when you start writing it. Okay, when you start writing it, let's say I can, this is called, the tool that I've opened right now is called VS Code. Okay, Visual Studio Code. In this tool, if you observe, okay, I can view my folder here. I can view my list of items in this folder. I have a folder called Python B3-tuts. Okay, this is the folder, something like this. This is the folder that I have, okay, that I have opened in this Visual Studio Code programming tool. If you see, this tool is giving me already enough information about this folder. Okay, in this folder, in this Python B2 tuts, I have another folder called day1, and these are all the list of contents that you have in that folder. So that's the benefit of having or else using a tool. And this tool allows me to set something from this from this folder. Let's say I will try to search for mark. Okay, I will try to search for mark. See, I can find mark in the file called course plan and .txt. I can just go there. I can just click on it, or else I can just go to that uh, wherever this mark, wherever it found this mark for the first instance, or something like that. Okay, I can just go here. So this tool is actually, first option that it is giving me is the explorer, or is the finder experience that it is giving me, the folder experience that it is giving me. Okay, that would be listed here. That would be listed here. And it is allowing me to create a document. See, if I click this, I can create first program.py. I can create a file here, and it is allowing me to create a folder day2, something like that. I've created another folder. Okay, and it is a reload option, or else refresh explorer option. Suppose if your folder is not, if folder changes are not reflecting here, you can just use that refresh. It's just like clicking refresh or else reload in your system. That's it. Okay, it's just like collapse, like everything will get collapsed. Okay, if you open everything, okay, if you want to just collapse all those folders, you can just click it, something like this. Okay, so already my Visual Studio Code is giving me two things for me. One is Finder experience, the other one is search experience. Okay, the other thing is source control. We'll see when we are talking about Git and those things. Debug option or else extensions. What are these extensions? We could see step by step when we are reaching to that point. Okay, so these are all enough right now, or else for now. Okay, uh, when it comes to the editor. Okay, next thing. Now I can this assume this is like a Word, or else any kind of Photoshop, any kind of paint tool. Okay, but the usage is different, or the use case is different here. The use case right now for this Visual Studio Code is to write your program. Okay, write your program. That's it. Let's try to write a program here. Okay, if you, yeah, go ahead. Someone has a question. Anyone has any question? Okay, let's go. Okay. I'm writing a program right now saying that okay, first program or which is or a first line of code, okay, first line of instruction set is we'll take example from this scenario itself. From this scenario, I'm giving an instruction to a kid. Okay, when I say giving an instruction, I don't have any sensors, I don't have any what is that, any motors or anything to perform or else to see the output. Okay, I don't have anything to see the output. So right now what I'm trying to do here is I'm using a function called print, or else forget about function or anything word. Okay, I'm using a word called print. Okay, let's try to understand this way. I'm using a word called print, which actually gives you, or else which actually displays whatever we want to see on the screen, whatever we want to see on the screen. Let's say if you go to a railway station, or else if you go to an airport, you could see uh, displays all over your airport, giving you some kind of information. Sometimes it gives you some kind of instructions also. Let's say take left here, take right here, wait for 5 minutes, stand in the queue. All these are instructions defined by the system to you. Okay, he has chosen this display method there. Okay, because it is appropriate there to give you information in a display, either by a voice command or some kind of a motor or something like that. Sometimes you could hear an automated voice saying that your flight got delayed for 5 minutes, something like that. So these are all different output methods, either by giving you a display message, either by giving you an automated voice message, either by giving you opening an automated door. All these are different output methods. Okay, and here we are choosing, because we don't have any other things. Okay, we are just choosing a display method. Okay, the instruction what we have right now is take brush. Okay, something like that. Take X brush. Take X brush. That's it. That's the instruction that I have. That's all the instruction that I have in this program as of now. Okay. So this is the only thing that I want to display. This is the only thing that I want to display. Let's take another example. If you don't, if you feel bored with this brushing example, I'll try to take an airport scenario, or else a train station scenario, something like that. Okay, suppose the scenario is the scenario is uh, the scenario is what is that, train from A to B, reaching to, okay, catching a train which travels from A to B. Okay, so we have to give instructions to a passenger. We have to give display related instructions to passenger who has to travel, who has to travel, who has to travel from A to B, from A to B. Okay, so for this guy, okay, the instructions are like, okay, suppose you have an instructions, take left from, take left, right. The first instruction is to take left, go straight. Okay, take left at take right at the roundabout. Okay, and you can see your platform, something like that. That's it. Okay, these are all the instructions. these are all the instruction set that I have, okay, to move to a particular position. Like if you are using a Google map or something like that, a map designed by the railway station authorities. Okay, so while you're moving, it is saying that, okay, here you take left, something like that. Now you go straight. After taking left, now you go straight, something like that. Now you take a right at that roundabout. Okay, now you can see your platform, something like that. These are all the instructions that you have to reach to a platform, which to catch a train which travels from A to B, something like that. Okay, so now let's try to convert all these into instruction set in a program. Okay, I don't have any other output devices. I just have a display. Okay, assuming that print is a word which performs that display option operation. Print is a word which performs that display option. If you're coming from any other background like C, or if you have any knowledge on other languages like C or anything, if you have learned it in your in colleges or graduation level, or uh, any kind of education level, okay, you might have heard this word called print or printf or print C, something like that. All these words denotes to a specific operation, okay, where it gives the output, or else whatever we are writing here, to a standard output console. Here in this case, the standard output console is our system's desktop screen itself. Okay, here take a left. That's my first instruction. Okay, now you have to go straight. You have to go straight for 50 meters, something like that. I'm giving clear instructions kind of thing. Okay. Now take now take right at the roundabout, something like that, a junction kind of thing. Okay. Now you can see the platform 45, something like that. Okay. So these are all the instructions that I have, list of instructions or a series of instructions that I have uh, for a display, for a display in a railway platform, or else for in a yeah, in an airport, or any kind of platform. Now this is our first program. This is our first source file. As I told you before, I have stored it in a file called first underscore program.py. Let's try to rename it. I can rename it. I can rename my files here. Okay. I can say railway railway info.py, something like that. Okay. Railway info.py. Okay. Now this is a program that I have created. This is the program that I've created. Yeah, here. Now I have to execute this. I have to run this program to visualize, or else to see our code in action, to see our code in action. Okay, because we have written some code, right? Okay, we have to see that in action. This is just what is that? An editable code. Okay, it doesn't do anything unless you run it. It doesn't do anything unless you run it. I can run it from the term, run it in three different ways. Okay, I can run it in the VS Code itself. In two different ways in the VS Code we can run it, or from the terminal that I was talking about. Okay, whatever I could do from the VS Code, some of them I could actually perform from the terminal itself, from this terminal itself. If you are a pro programmer, okay, if you are a professional, you could write your programs within your command prompt, and you can execute them here itself. First, let's understand how to run from using the tool, because it's the easiest way. It's the easiest way. If you are choosing a VS Code tool like me, you can click a play button here. See, if you hover your cursor there, you could see run Python file. I can just click on that, and I could see all those instructions that I've written here printed in my standard output console. And if you see, the advantage of having a tool is at the same time, I could see my source code, and at the same time, I could see my output of that source code in two different lanes of my editor. I could see my source code here, and I could see the result here in a single window, Okay, by just clicking this play button. That's one of the advantages of having a tool. Okay, that is one way of executing your code. Another way of executing your code is Python. Python is the word that you have to use to run all your Python related files. Because we are running Python code right now, Python source code right now, you have to use Python word in front of every Python file. Okay, the file name here is railway underscore info.py. Python space railway underscore info.py. If I execute that, okay, sorry, I have two different versions. Let's run it with a specific command. Okay, what is that? Three, I'll tell you, but assume that, okay, Python 3 is the right word to execute it. Now I could see all my instructions here. Take a left. Now you have to go straight for 50 meters. Now take right at the roundabout. Now you can see the platform 45. All these instructions getting executed in a standard output console. Okay, I can run the same program in the terminal also. Here also you could see, 1 second. Yeah, I have to get into this Python B3 tuts folder. You have to change your directory where you have written, or else where you have stored this file. Okay, first of all, you have to move your cursor. This is called as cursor. Okay, you have to move your cursor in a folder where you have stored your Python file. Right now, I am in the same, my cursor is in the same folder where I have stored this railway underscore info.py file. Okay, now I'll use the same command Python 3 to execute the same program. I can execute it, or else I can run it. When I say execute, I just mean that, okay, I'm running the program, whatever I have written. Okay, here take whatever the contents of my source code. Right? So we have seen three different ways of running your program. Okay, like this, you can run your source files. The output of your source files, okay, can be viewed in three different ways. One is either clicking by play button, executing it from the terminal here, embedded in the VS Code, or the system's default terminal, or else command prompt, or a shell, your whatever you call it. Okay, console. By using this also you can execute those things. The only thing you have to remember right now is you have to make sure you are there in the same folder level where you have stored your program. That's the only thing you have to make sure when you're executing it from the terminals, either embedded in VS Code or the default systems terminal. Okay, you have any questions here? We see, I'll summarize it just one more time. Okay, we are trying to uh, get introduced to the to the programming world right now. Okay, what is this print? Why, when I printed it, what is that? Is print is the only word to execute something? You don't worry about it right now. All you have to worry about it right now is, okay, what is a folder? What is a file? What is .py file? How to store it? How to run it? That's it. The contents of the file, don't worry about it right now. Okay, you have to understand these basics right now. You have any questions here? Any small question that doesn't matter, if you can ask me. We'll try to address that question. Okay. You have any questions so far? Did you understand it, whatever I'm trying to say here?
Yes.
Okay. Rohit, I think he said yes. Sorry, she said yes. Rose, Beulah, Blessy, you have any questions there? You understand first of all, at least?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, great. If you don't have any questions, let me open. One second, let me stop sharing and I'll show you where to download this VS Code. Okay. Right, I'll start sharing it again. Can you see my screen? Yeah, can anyone? Yeah, I think you can see it, right? Okay, assuming that you are seeing it. Okay. So if you want to download, because in your systems, I believe you don't have Python installed. If you have Python installed, you can just check it by giving by opening your command prompt and giving a command called Python space hyphen version. Okay, I'll paste it in the chat box. If you want to check, if you have Python installed in your system, okay, you can just give. Can anyone quickly try that and let me know? Okay, I just entered in all caps. Okay, you have to enter it in all small letters. Okay, don't just copy paste, like enter this in small letters. I've added in the chat box. Okay, it's double hyphen, not the single hyphen. Okay, Python hyphen version, something like that. Let me share my screen, or else if you want to see that. Okay. Where is it? Shared screen. Okay. So if you run it, okay, in the command prompt, you could see something like this. If you don't see this, if you see command not found, something like that, okay, which means you don't have Python installed in your system. Okay, to run or else to execute uh, your Python related files, you should have Python installed in your system. Like the way to create Word files or else to create Excel files, to create a Photoshop images, okay? How you are downloading uh, Excel, Word, or Photoshop, okay? You have to download your Python also, okay? Did anyone check that? Can I know may I know the result? Can you open your system, open command prompt? Like if you click the Windows icon, there you can search for CMD. Click on the CMD. Look for Python hyphen version or else Python 3 hyphen version. I'll pause the recording for some time here. Okay. What is the screen that you're seeing right now? Okay, I hope you can see it now, right? Anyone, can you please respond? Like anyone trying that or not?
Yeah, actually, I just commanded Python 3 space hyphen version, but it shows me that Python was not found.
Okay,
But
that's a good.
actually, I have using the VS Code since 1 week, and I'm running code also.
Oh, okay. Can you try Python 3 hyphen version or else hyphen V, something like that with different options? Python 3 hyphen hyphen version. You have to give a space, okay, between Python, then hyphen hyphen with no space version. Did anyone try that? Is the same thing?
It's showing Python 3.12.1.
Okay, you have the latest version. Okay. Blessy, what about you? Rohit just now said it.
Yeah.
Rose, what about you?
Yeah, actually, I am doing it from my phone, so maybe tomorrow I'll do it from my
Okay,
computer.
got it,
Yeah,
got it. That's
yeah,
fine. That's fine.
yeah.
Salome, what about you?
Even I am on my mobile.
Okay,
I'll,
that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Um, please try it in your systems, like try to execute this command. Okay. If you don't
Mhm.
have your pipe, if you don't see your version listed here like this, okay, what you have to do now is just go to your Chrome or whatever, your own browser. Okay. Just go to downloads. Okay. And
Mhm.
download Python. Okay. Always try to avoid installing the latest versions, because latest version is like sometimes it might have some issues. Okay, it's not the stable version always. Okay, uh, just try to get 2 to 3 versions below that latest version. Okay, 3.11, 10, because those are all might be stabilized right now, because every version, every time, like every few months they release a version, people start using it, community will report back if they found any issues there, and they release any patch version, something like that. So to avoid that, okay, you choose the not that latest version. Okay, at least minimum 4 months back, 6 months back, something like that. Let's say, for example, Python 3.9.18 you could download, because it's released in August. It might be stabilized right now. People might have used it in their enterprise applications. I'm not sure. Okay, so you could do something like this, not the latest version. Okay, that's what I recommend. Even if it is the latest version, don't worry, that's not an issue. Okay, so you can either click this and you can start downloading and you can start installing it. Okay, it's like if you are on Windows, it would be very easy for you, because it's like installing a new software. Okay, it just asks you next, something like that. Like you have to choose your folder path. You have to choose few options there. Okay, you can go to my previous classes, the first week classes. Okay, there I have helped one of my attendees. Okay, one of that attendees. Okay, who has Windows system. I just guided him from first step to the last step, something like that. Okay, I will only try to share you that here, or else you can just go to the saved videos and you can just go through that specific chunk. Okay, where I have helped them. Okay, you can do that. Next thing is, you can just go to Visual Studio Code. Okay, click on download. This would be very easy compared to your Python, because Python ask you for multiple things. Okay, like path. Do you want me to use this environment, something like that, but Visual Studio Code, it's like straight away. You click on Windows download. Okay, you just start downloading here. You have to press like next. That's it. All you can see is a new window, something like this. A new window, something like this, created for you. Okay. You won't have you obviously you won't see all these things because it's a new thing for you. Okay. From that, you can start creating folders, creating files and everything. From tomorrow, we'll see how to create files on your own. Okay. I'm expecting you to at least start downloading these two things. Okay. Can you do that by tomorrow, or else uh, you can be honest with me here? Like, can you do that here by tomorrow? Can you be ready with these two installations?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Just be ready with these two installations so that we will start writing, or else we'll start executing in your systems. One of your one of your systems will try to share and try to execute whatever we have written here. Same code. We'll try to execute from your system itself. Okay. So we'll stop for today. Let's start. Let's meet again tomorrow the same time. Okay. As I said, from Monday it will be 1.5 hour session. From Monday we'll start getting into the core Python concepts. Okay, these 3 days we are trying to get introduce ourselves to the programming world, because most of you guys, as I understand, most of you guys are not from the IT background, or else any kind of engineering background, or else computer science background. Okay, so I'm taking it little slow. If it is, if it feels like too slow, you can share that to me also. Okay,
No,
I
not
can,
at all.
I can. Sorry.
Not at all. You're not at all going fast. You're good.
Okay, that's great. Okay, yeah.